We're back to making fun of the Cleveland Browns as we're on Shedeur Sanders' watch, Stefanski getting fired watch, and now we're on Dillon Gabriel chucking hospital balls watch. And the Cleveland Browns are hot in the media again.
Coach, we're stalling out again. We can't keep trotting the same
I'm aware,
package.
Tony. I don't know if he's ready.
Ready or not, the crowd thinks he is. Oh, great. Here it comes. They might storm the field, man.
With this quarterback situation, even after a win, Dillon Gabriel can't shut him up. We're going to be looking at what the media is saying today, but before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're on this side quest of making fun of the Cleveland Browns, watching these quarterbacks, watching the situation unfold right here between the play, the media, what people are saying on social media about Dillon Gabriel. It's all right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. But what they're really saying today is they should have gave Shedeur Sanders some opportunities yesterday in the fourth quarter.
Did you at any point in the fourth quarter think that Shedeur Sanders was going to get a series? I was hoping for it. Chris, you thought that should have happened?
I thought, listen, and I actually thought it was the whole unit. They were still running Judkins, and I was saying just get him out of there. There's no point in keeping him in there.
What more is Dillon Gabriel going to prove? You know, if you're making a list of people who helped you win that game, Dillon Gabriel comes in, 33rd, right behind Corey Bojorquez? So I would have maybe given Shadur just a little feel of what it's like to be out there. But I agree with what Tony Grossi said on the postgame show, Riz, which was Stefanski wanted to let Dillon finish his first win. Mm-hmm. If Shadur goes in there and leads a touchdown drive, all of a sudden you've just brought up a quarterback controversy out of nowhere. So I understand why they didn't do it. I probably would have done it.
Honestly, I don't see where it would hurt. Let him breathe some air on the field. Let him hand it off to Judkins, Ford, or whoever's back there, especially when Jeweler's got out there. We knew it was over. We knew it was done with. What would it hurt? Let him get the opportunity. Let him get a feel. Let him build some confidence.
Then what's the point of any of this? If you're that afraid of people on TV or on the radio or on podcasts or their TikTok videos, if you guys are that afraid to put them out there, then never take another quarterback ever. Because there's going to be more Shedeur Sanders than there's going to be ever Dillon Gabriel's ever in the history, ever in the future of football. There's going to be more guys with more cameras following them around. So if you can't handle it, just go hide in the corner and let everybody else do it.
You haven't really made a case on where the benefit of putting Shedeur in yesterday
I don't see the harm in it.
But that's different. That's different. I asked you what the benefit is, and you go to where the harm is. Because you know there's not really a benefit.
Because you went immediately to people online being upset with him. Like the Browns aren't used to people cussing him out on the internet.
Well, you explain to me
going on since there was the internet,
why you're depriving Dillon Gabriel of the moment to have being able to do a victory formation, his first win.
Depriving him of anything. You're up 31 to 6.
You'd be taking him out.
It's 31-6.
Why doesn't he get to finish the game? I mean, Judkins got to finish the game. Jerry Jeudy got to finish the game. Why doesn't Dillon Gabriel? What do you got against Dillon?
I don't have anything against him. It's not an insistence of pulling him out. I just think you're a little too nervous. I'll tell you the benefit. It's just getting him out there in an NFL game, handing the ball off. So all you have to do, he gets in the huddle, he calls a play. He covers his ears and listens to it and then, all right, goes on in. Or doesn't have to cover his ears. I don't know. There's probably not a lot of people left in the stands at that point. That's part of it. I cannot, guys. 216-474-0092. I think you guys are crazy. I think you're way too sensitive on this, man. I'm not beating the drum saying he should have finished the game and the Browns did him wrong.
Wait, it sounds like you are beating the drum.
No.
It is. Don't walk it back now.
No, go back and listen to the audio.
Ken Carmen thinks it was a big mistake not putting him in.
No, I don't. I never said a mistake.
That better be the headline, Mitch.
That better not be the headline.
If you're this mad at me and calling me sensitive, then clearly you think they should have. You should have put Shedeur in. Clearly, because your words are not...
There's something I want to call you right now that I know I would have to get dumped.
This intensity from you only means that you wanted him in there. And you think Stefanski made a mistake not putting him in?
No, it was not a mistake. I didn't say it was a mistake. I said, what's the problem with putting him out there? It's not a mistake. There was not... How could he make a mistake up 31-6?
There's a chance for a quarterback controversy, I guess. A chance. But honestly, we already got one. We've had one since rookie camp.
What did you learn about him yesterday and in the previous two games that you guys think that you can build on moving forward?
Yeah, I think with all of our young players, Mary Kay, we're learning about them every day. They're in the building. Obviously, these games are important for them and putting them in different situations. So, obviously, Dillon's only 3 games into his career, and it's had some unique challenges. But to be able to play clean and take care of the football for this football team, and obviously get his first win as a starting quarterback yesterday, I thought was very good for him. Obviously, that's something that you always remember.
It ain't going to go away. It's always going to be here, and it's the Browns. You're always going to have a controversy at quarterback.
Would you put Shadur in? Once they put in Quinn Ewers and the game was over, would you maybe let Shadur take some snaps just to hand the ball off?
I would not have.
Why not?
I don't see the use for that, and I don't know that they want to invite a lot of the nonsense that could be lurking behind the scenes.
What nonsense? You line him up. I know he hasn't done much under center, if at all. I hope he's done a little bit now. Hand the ball off. You can't do a snap. They're professional football players. You can't just run draws.
I think it also would be kind of disrespectful to Dillon to do that to him.
What do you mean it's disrespectful? You're up 31-6.
It's
What's
his
disrespectful?
Why are you yanking him? It's his first win as an NFL quarterback.
It's not a yank. You're up by so much. You can let the backup come in and finish it off.
I had no problem with it. I think it would have been just silly, adding to all that other stuff that seems to surround the conversations we have about Shadur.
You're getting way too sensitive about the conversations about Shadur then. I mean, look at it like I'm not ripping Stefanski for not doing it, okay? But at the same time, like, if you're just afraid about all the air all over the Shadur stuff here, then what's the point of this then, Anthony? For the love of God.
Well, I can almost guarantee you that Shedeur Sanders will get his moment this year out there on the field anyways. Like, he'll be out there somewhere, November, December, maybe the next game. We don't know, but it's happening somewhere down the line.
I need to see Shadur when they're going to give him a chance. And by that, I mean they have to tell him he's starting on Monday. Like, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I get it. But you got the Patriots, then the bye week. I was told by 2 different sources yesterday at the stadium. One said Shadur, Chris, will start the last 4 games of the season no matter what. Unless the Browns win every game through the Titans week, Shadur will play the Bears, Bills, Steelers, and Bengals. They want to see what he's got. Another person said he could be in play earlier than that.
This quarterback play can't maintain at this level, completing 5-yard outs to the left, throwing picks that just doesn't convert, missing on a lot of plays here, and getting bailed out by the run game. That's not going to last for the rest of the season. Eventually, it's going to switch over.
I should say this. I message the football team every single day, and there's sometimes you use different tools to get their attention.
And have you ever been that intense? The way he described it is that you gave it to them pretty good.
The Philly comes out every once in a while, yes.
This team has a chance to win the AFC North, but the odds are stacked against them, especially with the current quarterback play. Like, it ain't happening. The odds are stacked against them. They got the defense. They got the running back. Dominoes will have to fall for that to happen.
So what if you feel good today that they won? And guess what? They doubled their odds of making the playoffs. I'm not going to sit here and say they're a playoff team. I'm just saying, if you want to go back and look at history, and you can even look, look what the Guardians did over the summer. That's all I'm saying. I mean, as long as I just don't want to be dead and out of it. That's all. And they're not 100% dead and out. Am I realist? Yeah. What are the odds of this team making it to the playoffs? Slim and none. Right?
Andy,
but they're not dead.
The team needed a win.
Yes. The city needed a win, too. We all did.
The team needed a good performance. They got a win, and they look good doing it. There's nothing wrong with that.
They have to build a massive win streak, and their quarterback can only complete 5-yard outs right now. We can't push it downfield. We got to make the game plan fit to him. We're going wildcat in the red zone. We're doing this. We're doing that. We're coming close to throwing multiple picks. We're making mistakes out there. We're playing the easy game, short passes. Everybody knows this. Everybody's worried about this. Everybody knows that Once we get off script, it's going to unravel. What I've been saying about training camp is happening on the field, and we're just wondering. It's a matter of time. They're already talking about it. After a win, they had to bring that up. You know why? Because they see it. But they are not going to go all in right now in the big media or the radio stations around Cleveland because they just came off a win. They're wondering if they can make it to the playoffs.
I think what they showed you yesterday is if you're a really terrible team, they can curb stomp you in rather easy fashion. And you guys were talking about it. The schedule's very favorable for them coming up. Yeah, once you get by New England here, the Jets don't have a win. That's a great way to come out of your bye week and feel good about yourselves. The Ravens, I think, are dead in the water, frankly, until Lamar Jackson comes back. As they're 1-5, you got 2-5 Vegas, who just got curb stomped by the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday. And then, of course, Tennessee is on the schedule, too. After you play 5-2 San Francisco. So there are some winnable games on this schedule.
They're wondering if they got a shot at the AFC North. They do actually have a shot here with that defense, Quinshon Judkins, and you got to convert some plays in the passing game. You got to start doing that. And Gabriel either has to change and start pushing it downfield and get better at converting that, or they got to switch it over to Shadur. Like, what else you going to do? What else you going to do? Like, how are you going to make the playoffs? Like, there's a chance the AFC North is that jacked up. Eventually, they'll get Burrow back. Flacco looks like a great bridge now till they get Burrow back. That's going to be a whoopsie if they feel like they can make a run. Steelers are the Steelers. And then Ravens will eventually get Lamar back, I believe. But there's a chance here, but you got to get right at the quarterback position. If you're not right there, like, how are you going to backdoor yourself into the playoffs if you can't push the ball downfield?
Like Dillon Gabriel, I ain't going to sit there and say he was great. He wasn't great. He was just fine. And I'm perfectly fine with that as of right now.
I think
if you would have thrown the ball all over the field, that would have been irresponsible. You'd have more hell over it than a little bit. You're up 24-6.
It would have looked like Tua.
And before I started bragging about football guys, Owen and I are football guys. To a degree, you're a football guy. You soon will be if Mason, does what's right. I was getting those texts from my friends, and they all, like 5 different guys, wanting to let him rip. Got to get him in a rhythm, got to get him going. I go, guys, the weather's lousy. And they're up 24-6. I go, they're going to hand the ball off on 1st and 2nd down. They might throw on 3rd. That's what they're going to do. And for the most part, that's what they did.
Because it's tougher defenses, because that was Miami. That was the worst team in the league, especially when it comes to stopping the run. They've allowed like 400 rushing yards in the last 3 games. They got blew up by Kamani Vidal, Rico Dowdle, and now Quinshon Judkins. That's what we're seeing here. They're giving up fantasy points in droves to opposing players. They give up the deep ball like no other, but the Browns couldn't allow it. They couldn't allow that to happen. They gave the deep ball a rest against the Dolphins. That's the thing about that. He did not play horrible to where he was giving the game away, making multiple mistakes, but it wasn't winning in fashion for sure, or even moderate. Like, okay as a game manager, but not Trent Dilfer-esque even. So you're looking at this team. Eventually, it's going to get turned over. Eventually, he's going to get his opportunity. We've said this, that all the quarterbacks are going to play, then eventually Shadur will get his opportunity. His opportunity is going to be later. I wanted it against the Dolphins because they give up the deep ball. It's a great fit for Shadur. That was a great matchup for him and his skill set. That would have been a great matchup for him to show that accuracy downfield, especially first game at home. But it was wet, rainy. Also, the game scripts, the game planning could have been more affected by that. So you maybe not have seen his full capabilities, especially the deep ball attempts, especially when you're looking at a coaching staff that's so risk adverse with a scarcity mindset, as we're seeing with a lot of the moves out there with his team. But Shedeur Sanders is going to get his opportunity. He's going to be pushing it.
We'll talk about Shadur again, and He's likes to have fun out there is the best I can describe it. You know, he comes on the field and he's going up to the receivers and like thinking of celebrations to do when we score, like creating celebrations and all that, and that's awesome. It lightens up the mood. Everyone feels right. 'Cause you go in there, especially the first couple of days of minicamp, and everyone's tight, everyone's stiff, everyone's like, I can't make a mistake, I can't mistake. And he's coming up to you asking, you think he has an important question for you? He's like, hey, twin, what celebration you want to do? Yeah, all right. Like, I like it.
I can know with that.
Definitely loosens you up and makes you play a little freer.
The thing you want to call out here is, like, is this Browns team going to be looking good when that happens? I think he's got a lot of potential. I think there's a good potential that he comes in and rocks it, but there's also potential that we're banged up more at wide receiver. We're not getting it done at wide receiver either, even if it matters, if we're not. And then on top of that, the offensive line hasn't been looking great. The run game has been solid. The defense has been solid. We're going to be deeper in the season. It's going to be rather interesting because he's been throwing the equipment guys. Guys ain't even league anymore. They ain't letting him get his reps, especially in training camp. It's going to be very interesting because this is a guy that is on a day 3 contract in the 5th round, who a lot of people had as a first rounder, that you got on a cheap contract that you could have moneyballed if you attempted to develop this kid. That's one thing about this. Like, the developmental process wasn't really there. You can say, hey, he needs to do it on his own. He is. He is on his off days. A lot of people give him flack for that. Like, he's going getting other coaching on his off days. There's film of that. But the thing is, like, is that going to impact him? That's my question. Like, am I selfish? And are we selfish for wanting him out there? Maybe we want to take the year off considering how unstable everything is. You can't say everything's not unstable right now. But when we look at this, and I'm looking at the Browns fans, they need this. They don't have anything. They just won the game. We covered it yesterday on Twitter. Everybody's just making fun of the quarterback. And that's it. They just won. Everybody's just making fun of the quarterback. Everybody's making jokes, and there's still jokes. That's the thing about this franchise. That's the thing. They need something to lock on to. They need something. And they need to develop this kid. They need to see what they got. They got 2 first-round picks next year. They got 2 dice rolls. Add a quarterback class here in 2026 that's going to have, I don't know how to say it, but a stockpile of, let's just call it talent. That could be whatever it is. That's up to your imagination. But a lot of volatile quarterbacks so far this year in college football that you're going to have to make the right move on, because some of them are going to hit. And then some of them are probably not, considering what we're seeing in college football right now. You got to make the right choice. You got to develop them. And then you got 2 first-rounders. Are you going to be in a position where you got to trade up? Are you going to be in that where you're going to have to make a move? Or are you going to be in a spot in the draft, considering you're accidentally winning games here? Well, the Dolphins ain't really an accident. But you got one accident already on the year. That you're going to be in a spot here where you're going to get like the 3rd best quarterback, the 2nd best, the 4th best, according to draft position. Maybe not actuality, but you know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying. You're catching my drift here. So you got a quarterback here that a lot of people gave a 1st-round grade on. That's debatable. I get it. That's up in the air. You can do what you want with that. But it was there. That fell to the 5th. Day 3 contract. Now you're at a spot where you're looking at your 3rd-round quarterback. We pretty much know. Like, you can hold on tight and try to win some more games. You can try to get cute with that. Or next year, you're looking at draft position. You're trying to get to the AFC North. You're trying to win the AFC North. You're trying to get into the playoffs, backdoor that. I think what we're seeing here, the odds are unlikely. You're going to have to win it, run the ball, nasty defense, and something has to change in the passing game. That is for sure. Browns fans are talking it up. The media's talking it up like, hey, do we got a chance? Do we actually have a chance? If nothing changes, no. Like, you're going to have some change in the passing game for that to happen. If there's no change, it ain't happening. Nothing's going to change if there's no change. That's the thing about that. You're going to go looking like the other couple games with a stagnant offense. Then Keon Judkins. Judkins can still look good. He can probably still get you about 80 yards and a touchdown. But you're still going to be in those pressure moments where you got to make a play. You got to push it 20 yards downfield. You got to move the chains. And they got their ears pinned out. and they're trying to get to your quarterback. You got to make that play. Is that going to happen? It's going to happen in multiple games where you're going to have to make that play, move the chains, first half, second half, multiple times. Are you going to be able to do that? Or you're going to have to turn the keys over to a different driver to drive this car? Because more than likely, to be able to do this, you're going to have to do that. But are you going to do it too late? That's another question. Are you going to do it too late? This is going to be a rather interesting season here for the Cleveland Browns. Shadur is going to be out there sooner than later. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.